Hi. Well, this is kind of not new because, let me explain to them. Well, for this episode, I'm gonna be the host. I'm gonna hijack this podcast because the guest for today is gurukuMrD, aka Dennis. Denisio Perez. We were just talk about high school, how in Indonesia you
the
really
Indonesian section we were talking about.
But you talk about your stocks. That's something that I think people are not really know that you're, and I don't know if you're happy to share.
Oh, that's fine.
But from my point of view, is with your experience and your age, like the early 20s,
right,
obviously. You're welcome. How do you like, why you choose to invest in stock, or what's the story behind it, or like, you know what I mean?
I think probably the first time I got into the idea of investing, I guess maybe before this moment, which I'll get to, there were things that people said, random podcasts I listened to, or some audio book I listened to, or books I read, where, or documentaries I saw talking about how investing in just a savings account, your money doesn't do anything. You'll end up with nothing later, right? So it makes more sense to invest, do some kind of investing, even if that just be buying land, and then whatever, building something. And
there is plenty of way to invest.
Exactly. Yeah. But I guess it started there. Then there's this one guy, Naval is his name, and I think I've told you about him before. Naval.
Yeah.
I forgot the last name. I cannot say it. But he goes by Naval on Twitter, and Joe Rogan sent him on. But Naval's really good. He has this very short episode of series of podcasts with short episodes talking about building wealth, right? And in that, because I only got 10 episodes or 20 episodes in, I didn't finish it. So in the beginning, he talks a lot about how investing is something that anyone could and should do, and how if everyone in the world invested, we'd still be able to make money, right? It's something that everybody could do. He made it seem doable, because before that, people have a picture in their head of what investing is. It's just the Dow Jones, but all this terminology is so overwhelming, is so, it makes you think okay, that's just for people who know about that, and that's it. And so to hear this guy Naval put it in a way where he says anybody can do it, and everybody should do it, and then when everybody does do it, they can keep doing it. That made me think, so there's never going to be an end of the profits that people can make, So he got me thinking about it. So then listening to him was making me say, I'm going to invest. It got me started saying I'm going to. And then when I had this one student, and I told him, right, because it was just, when I talk to my students, sometimes it's just casual chat conversation, because they need to practice their English anyway. Yeah. And by the way, I don't teach kids, so this student was not a child. He's adult, older than me. So
how old are you?
Yeah, exactly. He's older than me, right? So then right. So then with him, then he explained to me about how the bank that I already have an account with has an app for investment. And so then when he said that, I was like, that made me even more interested. Until finally, probably the GameStop stuff. No. Before that.
You went in before that. Yeah.
You probably boosted me because you started in December, right?
I started in November.
Oh, okay, November.
Yeah, but I
talked
share
to me about it in
the
December.
experience in December. Yeah.
And then that's when I started looking for some application that I could learn from.
Yeah.
And then I found, well, they're not paying, so I'm not going to say their name. I found this one app that allows you to do paper trading.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And so I started trying to learn from there. And that was and then watching videos that you sent me, right? Until now, 2 weeks ago was my first purchase?
No, I think it's more than 2 weeks, bro.
3 weeks ago. Beginning of February.
Oh no, the real money or the paper money?
Real money.
Real money. Yeah.
My real money first investment was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so far I'm up.
Yeah, you just talk about it. I don't know if I
better sell so that I can stay up.
Include all the you know what I mean? I'm gonna cut or not. But before you watch and found Naval and his channel or his Twitter, so you're not really financially aware. I don't know the right terminology, but you get the idea, and I think people get the idea.
Yeah. I think another thing that sparked me to get into it was that movie The Big Short.
Yeah, I watched that movie.
And I've seen it like 5 times, and every time I watch it I learn something new.
I think I said like 10 times.
Oh man, see, right? And even having watched it that many times, if I have to explain it to someone, there will be things that I still forget or can't explain.
Yeah.
Explain derivatives. Well, okay, it's and then it's, you kind of have it in your head, but you can't explain it. So there was that. When I was in LA, I was a typical broke actor. Typical.
Enlighten us for those.
Have you
I understand.
Have you ever seen Big Bang Theory? The girl actor, Penny is the character's name, or Joey on Friends. Typical broke actor, right? I didn't know anything about money.
Okay, for the Indonesian people, typical broke actor is where you need to work like.
You're in LA trying to become an actor, and acting is probably the least thing you're doing.
Yeah, and to support yourself, you need to.
Yeah. And if you are doing it, you're not getting paid for it. Like it'll be theater.
Yeah,
because I did do a lot of acting when I was in LA. I just wasn't paid for all of it.
So carry on.
But yeah, there was this one time though. So the actors have a union called SAG, SAG-AFTRA now. I became a member at one point, so I haven't paid my. I don't know if that's something I can say. I think I can say it. I can say it. I haven't paid my dues, so I'm probably not a member at the moment. But since I've been here in Indonesia, I haven't. I didn't think about it until after being here for 2 or 3 years. Like, oh yeah, shit. But anyway, so whatever. Either I am or I'm not. I don't even care anymore. I don't know. I'll just join again if I have to. But so I was a member of SAG at the time, SAG-AFTRA, and they had. What was the best thing about the union is they gave a lot of resources to the actors, and the actors really needed them. So there was this one seminar that I went to with a woman who taught about finances, and she made it so simple. And she was not, her background was not finance. I forgot what her background was, but she got into it, and she found that she had a very good skill for teaching people about finances. So she started doing it, and then that was the first time I got any kind of knowledge about finance and saving and investing and paying your debts and all this kind, and making, saving all of your receipts and all of that stuff. Yeah. Which I don't necessarily still do, but all of that stuff that she taught, a lot of it stuck with me. So it's in my head, not that I do all of it, but a lot of it stuck with me. And so I think that would be the first time I got any knowledge about money.
That's I would say that's your turning point.
Sure.
In terms of your mindset of how money or how you plan your money, because for me, the way I see money is it is hard to earn money, harder to manage your money. You know what I mean?
Yes, and here's the thing. She started her seminar with talking about money. What are some idioms that we have about money? Money doesn't grow on trees, like all these other kinds of idioms. and she spoke to the sentiment, because some people are like, but there's more to life than money, and I'm one of them. There's definitely more to life than money.
True.
But she made it clear that you cannot let your anger about how the world runs about money, revolves around money, stop you from making money, making just a living, right? And then keeping your living, and then letting your living bring you more living, passive income, essentially, right? So even though I'm still, I come from a capitalist country, so I can't say I'm anti-capitalist, but I'm still, I don't think that people should be materialistic. I really, for as many people that there are in the world who are people of the, their holy book, whatever their holy book is, it's strange to me that a lot of people don't get that lesson about don't just only care about money. So so even though I try not to be materialistic, and I don't think I really am.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge.
Yeah. She talked about it in that way that made me kind of, I see.
Yeah. The way we see it, maybe it's not like greedy or something. You know what I mean? It's more like safety net, I would say, or just like passive income.
Yes. And I think also the more I think about it, if I can get to a point where the more money that I'm making is creating more opportunities for other people in whatever way, then that's a form of charity, or it can be a form of charity.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Creating jobs, or if you're buying up land, not like you're buying up all land, but you're buying up some land and you create an apartment. The more people have a place to live now.
Yeah.
Things like that.
And like you're paying workers to build it, and it's like more. It's very, very. I don't know what's the word.
It's creating an economy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the simplest things to say. Talking about money. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you experienced something that I think you'll never experience in the US or even here. Was that your first time? The guy. So was he a debt collector or a loan shark? Well, that's kind of tricky. Let me explain. So basically, the guy who lived next door to me, he owe I don't know how much amount of money to the bank, and the bank point a loan shark. Something. What's the word? I don't know.
I think it'd have to be debt collector in this case.
Yeah, third parties to collect the money.
Okay.
So he's legal, but he's not from the bank. It's kind of like the gray area.
In the US, it'll be someone calling you like crazy.
Yes.
They're not going to come to your house, though.
Yes, but in this case, they came to his house, and that's kind of like typical. Came to his house and like waiting for his family or someone come out from the house and blah blah blah. But in this case, that guy, the debt collector or the loan sharker, I can say, I don't know.
Pick either one. I'm not totally sure.
He was yelling like crazy, like in I will translate this like, "Hey Dennis, get out! Pay your tab! Hey Dennis, get out!"
Over and over.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes I was like, okay, but then he kept yelling and shouting for like 15 minutes, and then you order your Grab or
right. At the time,
this video is brought to you by well, whatever.
In the US, they don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, you order your Lyft or Uber lah, and then I was being Singaporean, and and we went downstairs, and I'll walk you to the car, and then I was like, I had enough of this guy, and I came up to him, and turns out before me there was a guy, older man than me, that already talked to him, and then I am second person to talk to him. I was like, hey dude, come on, chill out, we're working here, it's work from home and stuff. And then he was like, yeah, but Dennis, it's not you, but
Right.
but Dennis, oh, money to the bank. There's no one coming out, blah blah blah. But we were like, yeah, but you shouting and yelling, you're disturbing us. And then you tell the story from your side.
Yeah. So from my side, I remember that there was noises outside is the most I can say. But from an American perspective, there's never sounds on your street. Sounds on your street would be an ice cream man
Yep.
who is in a truck, right? The ice cream truck passing by, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
That's the only seller that exists.
Even the delivery man didn't
No sound.
In Indonesia, they shout, you know. Yeah. In the US,
No,
they just like put it in your
They
doorstep.
put it on your door and they leave. Other than that, there might be kids playing outside.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I have lived. My grandpa had chickens, right? So our house, we would have had chickens. There could be dogs, dogs barking. That's dogs barking or an ice cream truck. Really, that's about it.
Normal.
A car honking if there happens to be some need to honk. But I'm thinking about the neighborhoods I lived in, and you know, there's no traffic. These are suburbs, you know.
Yep.
There's no traffic, so there's no reason to honk.
A couple fight. Yeah, that's very basic.
Not even a couple fight. That would be strange. In a suburban neighborhood, that couple would be kind of nervous, like shy, embarrassed to be seen, you know. They'd do it in their own house. In an apartment, yes. In an apartment, because the walls, you're closer to people, yeah. But, so anyway, so for me hearing those sounds, my brain just shut it off. My brain didn't pay attention because here in Indonesia, there's many different sellers. There's the bakso seller. There's this other seller. This other one. This other one. This other one. Yeah. The sayur woman in the morning. You know, which sayur is vegetable. So there's all these different sounds. There's different religious places have their sounds. In Bali, they have theirs. Here in Jakarta, we have ours. If you live near a church, there's those. There's so many other like reasons why Indonesia's a more lively country with sound. So I just turned it off. My brain somehow wasn't paying attention. And when you kept paying attention, I was like, what is he talking about? Like I didn't connect. So then finally, and then I do remember you saying like, I'm gonna go talk to that guy.
Yeah, because I was kind of like starting to boil up, you know. And you know me, I was like,
yeah. And I didn't get it. I was like, at that point, I was like, does he know who that is and what he's doing? Like, and I just didn't get into it because I was like, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
And then I ordered my car, and then the car arrived. And it's funny because the car wanted to go all the way to where that was going on. You didn't know, it was looking for the house.
Yeah.
And that's when we came out. And then I caught the car. And
I didn't say goodbye to you.
No, you didn't.
I literally like walked straight to that guy.
You
and I
walked out and you walked straight to him.
Started to like...
Your dad came out too.
Yeah. Funny thing is, my dad told me like, okay, just talk to him very nicely. And he's the one that like... you saw him, right?
You,
yeah, you saw him like, what? Well, and like we were kind of like hard on him. It's not we like my dad and me and dad. It's like our neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood.
Yeah, we all came out.
And it turned out that my driver, is from the neighborhood. She only lives like 2 or 3 streets away. I don't remember where exactly. Maybe 4 streets away. She lives in this exact neighborhood by chance.
Yeah.
And she was upset. Like, what is this guy doing? Why is he so loud? What's going on? And that made me kind of like, I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was like, oh, the people are kind of like monitoring each other, monitoring the area. You know?
Yeah, because you told me something like, I see the point why you have to get along with your neighbor.
Yeah.
Because we back each other up, but the idea is we get this, I don't know, disturbance? What's the word?
You were disturbed by that
guy.
And it is especially yeah, work from home
Yeah.
makes it. Come on, man.
Me personally, I didn't care the dad. I didn't care anything. What I concerned was his yelling, shouting in my neighborhood. I knew no one do the thing he
Right,
did.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and he was like, you know what I mean. But I don't know in your neighborhood in the U.S. whether or not it's in LA or in a back or you're back home with your mom. But does that happen? Like the neighborhood come together? You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess they would.
Does it
Yeah.
ever happen?
No, I can't think of any occurrences where it ever happened. No.
Well, because in the case is it's kind of different though. But
Yeah.
I think the point is for you. I think you see something that really reflect.
Don't forget, in the U.S. we have credit scores.
Yeah, we don't have that here, and most of people in Indonesia
Yeah.
doesn't understand the concept of credit score. Can you explain a little bit? So, it's kind for me as Indonesian, it's kind of funny though. For me, I don't know. For you, for those of you like,
Yeah.
but in Indonesia we don't have credit scores, and when I figure out the concept, I was like, what really? Why?
Yeah. It's a little bit like from Black Mirror, that TV show, social credit score, where like how nice you are, you get scores. Which there's a country who already has that actually, but so it's a little bit in it to a degree like that. you
Yeah.
know? But when you think about it, when you think back, like, that's kind of what credit scores always were. But no, I mean, credit score. If you don't pay your debts, your credit score goes down.
Yeah.
And if you have a low credit score, it's very hard to get a house.
Car.
It's very hard. Any loans, a car.
Is it harder or more expensive?
Harder. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Harder.
I don't get it
More
because
expensive.
I still like
Down payment is higher
yes.
for whatever, house or car. Getting a loan is impossible. Getting a credit card can be pretty much impossible.
Basically, the bank didn't trust you.
No, the banks don't trust you. Right. Exactly.
They were like, nah, he's very unresponsible with his debt. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, don't give him the loan
Yep.
he wanted to. You know.
Although, remember in The Big Short, a lot of people with bad credit scores got houses. And that's
Yeah.
real. That's not just a movie.
Yeah, that was
That
yeah,
happened, yeah. So,
and that created
so there's these weird loopholes, yeah.
the loopholes that
Bad credit? No problem. There's like all these commercials, they market to people with bad credit.
and I realized few advertising in here in Indonesia that I don't want to never mind. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, that's credit score is kind of weird though.
It is.
For me personally.
The only reason why I don't think it's weird is because I grew up with it.
Exactly.
But looking back, it's like, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, for me but I think in Indonesia we should have credit score even though it's weird.
Yeah, at the same time, growing up with it, I felt normal, and looking back, I think, it's kind of weird. I can still justify it.
Yes.
Because there's so many people. Well, how else are you going to?
Yeah.
Back in the day when there was just a few people in the town, everybody knew that guy doesn't pay his debts. Don't lend money to that guy. And then you're good.
Yeah.
But with so many people, it's harder.
It's weird, but I think it's gonna work well here. Not with I don't know. It's more like responsibility. You know what I mean? It's like if you have credit score, you will think about your score, right? Like, what happened if I want to buy another car and pay using installment? I don't know what's the terminology.
Using installments.
Yeah, but it's weird, and I think it would work really well here. Not well as in well, but well as in people will pay their debt more, more.
Yeah, then they might pay their debts.
Yeah, because it's very, I don't know, it's hard for me. Well, I want to close with something that I never know the answer, but what's your motto in life?
Motto, just
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you know what I mean, like being good to other people, and they will.
a sense of balance. What I mean by that is because it can be applied to anything. Equilibrium, if you want to call it that, balance, harmony. We can call it harmony. Not being too one thing or the other. So when we think about duality, you know, black or white, evil or good, left or right, whatever these binary concepts are, not being too much one or the other, because then you're able to learn from both sides, use both sides. I don't know. I think it's just like extremes can make us so crazy. So I just always thought, I don't know about always, I don't know when I came to this conclusion, but I've had it for a while. Having a sense of balance is a good thing.
In every case.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Like, there are some situations that call for you to... Sorry, but there are some situations that call for violence.
Yeah.
It's true. So you... If you are a pacifist, someone who's always peaceful and never wants to be violent or cause any kind of war or anything, then when there's this one moment where you need to be violent because the situation calls for it, there's someone who is out of control and they're causing harm, and the only way to stop them is through violence, even if it's only momentarily. Well, you do it. But if you're this 100% forever pacifist, then you'll never do it. Now, if you're always violent, that's also not good. So that's what I mean, yeah, like having a sense of balance.
That's, I don't know, maybe I'm going to think about it well.
Do.
Because I was like, dang, all right.
We can put it in stock terminology too. Like, don't be too risky, but don't be too scared to make a risk.
Sense of balance in every situation. Yeah, well, thank you, Dennis, for
coming onto the podcast. Yeah. Now that it's over, can I be the host again? Thank you, everybody, for it.
Well, for them it's gonna like a little bit weird for you to like.
Probably.
Yeah, but we'll see. If this does well, I think we have to do it.
We can do it again.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dennis. We don't have to do that. We're gonna like talk it. You know, it's formality for the camera. Yeah.